Hello?
We need to talk.
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 Welcome back to We Need to Talk, episode number 96. 4 away from 100. I'm your host, Mr. KOA, alongside
Top boy. Sorry.
this nigga's tripping.
Don't message me.
Welcome back, guys. This is week 2 of Black History Month. Yeah, we're in the second round, second quarter. How have you been feeling? How was your first week of February? You've been saying that. It sounds like this. We're breezing through 2021 already.
Dog, it's
like
you're asking me how my first week was. It was a blur. Like couldn't really tell you what happened.
Life itself these days just feels like we're just on some type of like simulation.
Part of it feels like we're on the Truman Show. You know, like someone is watching our lives unfold right now.
Who though?
I don't know.
Who is? I feel like, first of all, they said we can't fly to any sunny places until April 30th. Trudeau said this. April 30th, basically no sun, no fun.
No sun, no fun.
So how do you feel about that? April 30th?
From what I've heard though, like I've heard some people still getting away with it.
Of course we're still moving. It's just on the way back. Apparently they're saying you have to be like in a concentration camp now, in a hotel, blah blah blah.
How do I feel about it? I think it's like,
are you trying to leave before April 30th?
No, I'm not. Like I don't really have a reason to.
Right.
By April 30th, the weather will already start getting a little better here, which I'm excited for. Only because now everyone knows the plays for what to do.
We've done it. We've been there before.
We've been COVID before
for a whole year.
For a whole year.
Yeah.
Like before I know it, I'm gonna blink. It's gonna be my birthday.
Yeah.
Like real quick.
Pretty much.
And it's just gonna be another day in quarantine. That's all it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But I think they should have done this earlier. Like they should have done this from last year. I think it's whack that Trudeau basically said you can't go to Mexico or anywhere in the Caribbean. States is fine though.
Did he say States is fine?
Well, it's not banned to the States.
It's just Caribbean places.
Caribbean and Mexico. Caribbean.
He's just trying to shut down.
Is cool.
He's trying to shut down the fun in the sun.
Pretty much.
Too many people are in Tulum. He's like, nah, fuck all that.
Pretty much. And like I was just having a talk in one of my group chats today about the Super Bowl last night.
Yeah,
right?
That was weird.
Yo, I turned it off.
I barely watched it, to be honest.
No, I was watching the game and I was too cheesed because I felt like the refs were dictating the game in the first half. And I haven't actually turned off a sports game in so long. I was like, I can't watch it.
This is trash.
But one of my boys woke up this morning and in the chat, he had a rant. He's like, I didn't even watch the Super Bowl, but then I saw highlights of it.
Yeah. And
he was genuinely cheesed because he works in like the theater industry. And he was just like, yo, he said, was this a joke? Like, how did the Super Bowl happen? I don't understand. Like, how they have...
Like, why is it so going on?
He's like, how do they have so many fans in the stadium? Right? And it's like deceiving because let's just say the stadium could hold 50,000. I think it held like half capacity of that. But it looks full because you could pay... Like, you could pay...
Go closer kind of thing?
No. You, Ryan, could pay $100 to have a cardboard cutout of yourself in the stadium. But that $100 goes towards you getting the Super Bowl ticket for next year. Right.
Wait,
so
what?
Yes. So like, yeah, like, you know how like the NBA has the virtual fans.
Yeah.
Right. Like in the stadium
where you can go there and have a cutout.
No.
Okay.
In the state, like you could be at home.
Got you.
And pay $100 to have a cardboard cutout
just in the facility
physically. But that $100 actually goes towards you getting a Super Bowl ticket for next year.
Got you. Okay.
Right. So that's why on camera it looked really full.
Yeah.
Right. Because people were spread out, all this type of shit. But at the end of the day, it's just like, yo, like, why? The fact that they had fans in attendance and it was in Florida, like, that's why. Like, it's in Tampa Bay. Florida hasn't, like, COVID doesn't exist to these people. Right. And then, ironically, you have, you know, the NBA All-Star game coming up. Is it this month or next month?
It would be this month.
This month.
In Atlanta,
which is also, like, pretty much open.
I was just there.
Yeah. And you've already heard players talking about it, just being like, yo, like, I have no interest. Like,
so the player that said this, for example, let's say LeBron James. I'm torn with that because that seems like a play to me. Only because how are you now not interested in playing the All-Star game? But
he was told otherwise. Everyone at the beginning of the season was told there's not going to be an All-Star game. You have 5 days off.
I understand that. I'm just talking about like his reasoning partially was like they were told they weren't going to have it. But then he said there's still a pandemic going on. There's still social issues going on. I'm like, I don't think the season should be even come back. The season in general. And the way they've been slandering Kyrie and all that kind of stuff, like it's very interesting how when it comes to this, now he's like, oh, there's stuff going on. Like there's been stuff going on, but you still want the season to come back. So like it's just strange how you're choosing when the stuff going on is affecting you.
I disagree.
Like, go ahead.
I don't think it's like a matter of him at any point saying I wanted to, like, he never said I want the season to come back. He
did say that.
No, he never said I want the next season to come back. He just did his job. He just kept playing. The problem,
they had the Players Association.
You're talking about for last year.
For this season coming back right now.
Yeah.
The players had no say in this?
No, it was happening regardless. It was happening regardless. It wasn't like a choice. It was like it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But they weren't doing a bubble, right? So he was like, all right, bet. Like, I'm just gonna play. My issue with Kyrie is like Kyrie's thing is he just didn't communicate anything. It's not a matter of like, oh, he doesn't want to play. If he doesn't want to play for specific reasons, cool. But like, you have to communicate those things. You can't just not show up to your job.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he was in Toronto. Like, you just can't not show up and expect people to be like, I bet, like, I guess he doesn't want to play. Like, you got to give your reasonings. So with LeBron's thing, for him, it's more so not having the time off, for sure. It's not about like so much the social issues and that
he
type
just
of
wants
stuff.
time off.
He wants the time off. They just won
the championship.
But it's not even just that. Like, the season finished, and then I think they were back in a month and a half.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just won and they're back in the season. They just won,
and they were told, yo, you're going to have 5 days. Everyone's going to have 5 days off. And now they're told, all right, we're going to COVID Central to have an All-Star game where everyone... Dude, and you know how it's gonna go. Like,
fans are pulling up.
Fans are pulling up. No parties are happening. Like, all those things are happening,
and they're gonna want to go. They're gonna want to go.
Of course, and mans are just tired. They're
gonna want to go. You're putting them in ATL. They're gonna want to party, and you're gonna say you can't go.
Yeah,
for COVID reasons.
So the thing is,
don't bring us here.
Don't bring us here. And I think part of it is knowing that, all right, like, we're gonna have this All-Star game. Can you really opt out of playing the All-Star game? I
mean, LeBron can.
I think a lot of players can, but they won't because of the money.
Of course.
Like, the league makes all this money off of TV revenue, and as a result, all the players make all the money off TV revenue, right? And I just think, do I think the season should have come back like the past 2 years? No. But people got to eat, so I don't really know where they go from here, right? Where this money comes from. Like, forget the athlete. Like, unless you're a rookie, most of the athletes are set, right? But then you're thinking about like
their contracts have been fine. Yeah,
you're thinking about the staff at these stadiums and all this type of shit. Those are the people that are really affected, right? So I don't know. I don't know what they do.
Have you what was I want to talk about?
Malcolm and Murray?
Huh?
Malcolm.
Yeah, sure, we could talk about that. So there's a new black and white show that came, or movie, sorry.
Yeah.
That came out called Malcolm and Marie. It's Zendaya and what's the name? Washington? What's John Washington's son?
Is it John?
John Washington?
Yeah.
I think it's John Washington. Denzel Washington's son. I'm a fan of him as well. Great actor.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Fan of his father, Denzel. If you have not seen it, we're not going to do any spoilers per se, but we can touch on some points. Have you ever had an argument like that before? Not as toxic and aggressive, but like a looping argument that spins into another argument. And
yeah,
like,
for sure. Like,
those are the worst.
They are. And I think,
bro,
here's the thing.
Are we done yet?
I genuinely didn't hate the movie.
I didn't hate it. No,
I'm not saying you did.
There's a lot of people that don't like it.
I saw a lot of people that don't like it,
Right.
but I'm like, you have to understand the context of the movie.
Right.
Like, first off, just in terms of how it was shot,
beautiful.
It was beautiful. They shot that movie in 14 days and with a 20-person crew, and that was her house.
Her actual house.
That was her real house.
Oh, shit.
That's where she lives. So she's balling.
Yeah,
but that's her real house.
Nice.
Right. So they shot it like that because it's COVID, and they're like, all right, like, how do we tell this story?
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight. Zendaya basically reached. Is it Zendaya or Zendaya?
Don't quote.
Whatever. She
beautiful.
Yeah. She reached out to, I think it's the director or producer of Euphoria to like shoot this thing.
Yeah.
So that's how it came to be. My only issue with the film is that you could feel the director's ego like coming through in terms of the whole critique about the
like certain lines. Yeah.
Basically John's role, his issue with like the critic.
Yeah.
I felt like it was
a personal issue with the writer.
I felt like it was more so a personal issue with,
and he spoke it through
the thing. Right?
I feel you.
And like that might be an issue for some people, might not. Like it didn't break the movie for me. You
could tell, like, we're not going too deep, but you could tell that there's certain things that you're like, this director's trying to communicate this through the actors for a very intentional reason.
Yeah.
About my movie.
Yeah.
But like, oh, you're hearing it through the actor. It's the actor talk. Like, who makes the actor talk? Like,
I think that, to be honest, people who are saying that some of the arguments were like unrealistic or
fucking
whatever,
life.
That's pretty real.
It's a real relationship.
That's pretty real. And I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's real because I've been in like crazy toxic relationships.
It's not even what they're arguing about. It's just the environment and the type of arguments are very real.
And how it just flows.
Yes.
It's like 1 minute you're nice, everything's good. Next, you get aggravated by some shit. Yeah.
Like, watch the movie, guys, for sure. But like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying like you and I argue about the same things, because no one's relationship are the same. And like, he's arguing about specific things pertaining to her.
Yeah.
So obviously he's using things aggressively or not aggressively and vice versa based on their interactions. And I definitely have used certain things that I know about the person, and vice versa. You've been like, well, remember last time I did this for you? Like, like we've all brought up things we've done in the middle of a fight where like someone's not appreciating it. So you kind of like they throw in your face. You're like, what the fuck? How dare you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. And like you were saying, like the roller coaster and the transition of a fight, like there was a part in it where he basically said like, we're good. Please just stay like this for a second. I just gotta go for a second. And like, have you had those moments you're like, I swear to God, I thought we were good. Like, how are we still in this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bro.
It was, yeah, like I thought
it felt very real.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Like I really did. And people would be, how do I say this? Like, you know, when you watch a show with a character that you really fucking hate.
Yeah.
And it's like, from now on, that actor's ruined for you.
Yeah.
You know, no matter where you see them, you just fucking hate them. Tariq from Power.
I mean, I'm growing like Tariq only because the second spinoff. I
haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched the spinoff?
I haven't watched it yet.
If you watch the spinoff,
my opinion might change.
You'll have I definitely have a new perspective for Tariq with his new spinoff. But in Power, the original, I want to strangle this kid.
Right? So, you know, it's
I know
not.
What you mean.
It's not uncommon it's not like unrealistic for people to wake up and be like, yo, I feel like I just went through a toxic argument after watching that movie. But that's pretty realistic.
Were there any moments, and this is an honest question, were there any moments where Zendaya said certain things to John and you're like, huh, I've actually done that before, or I've actually been guilty of doing this to a girl before? Like, were there any moments where you're watching that, you're listening to her like her monologue, and you're like, fuck.
So
interesting.
So here's the thing. I think that When I genuinely think about all my relationships that I've been in, yes, I've been in 3 separate long-term relationships, but I think that only one of them, my last one, was truly serious. When I think about the other
where you're
two,
really invested.
Yeah, like, not to say that I wasn't invested in these women, but you know what I mean?
Yes,
like
yes.
things, life
Like
experiences.
literally, like in it.
Yeah. You know? And I think if I think about that particular relationship and compare it to the movie, I think there were times where I was John, but I was also Zendaya.
Yes.
Like, there were things that she was saying where I was like, yo, I felt like that.
Right.
It was specifically, it was that monologue where she's talking about the thank you. Thank you for this. Like, I've definitely been that person.
And it's not even like on a grand scale, but just for like, I was here.
Yeah. But then on the flip side, I can say that I've been the other guy when I'm like not totally aware of how
you've been inspired by somebody.
It's either been inspired or how just kind of nonchalant I move through everything, because his character basically, he has this level of success, and I guess he would become stagnant at times with the relationship. And I can admit, like, I've probably been that person. Right. But that thank you speech, I was just like, yo, I've definitely felt like that before.
I definitely agree. I think for me, there's something she said about was it jealousy? Because I'm not a jealous partner.
Okay, but go on, explain for people that haven't seen it.
There's something she said about jealousy, and saying that the reason that he's not jealous of her, flirting with other guys, or if a guy could literally be like hanging off her, he doesn't really care, is because he can't conceptualize any other man being better than him.
Wait, repeat that. So let me break that down in my head.
So she basically said something along the lines of like, you know why you're never jealous of anything I do, or jealous of any partners or anything, like, or if I'm with a guy, you might see me come up to me and I'm talking to a guy and you're just like, yo, whatever, let's go. Like, you're not even like, who is that? Like, you're never questioning anything, because you can't conceptualize any man being better at pleasing me than you, ever. Yeah. And it's subconscious and true to an extent, because it's like, I genuinely I don't get jealous of like my partner. Like, I'm not like, oh, is that guy? I've never been that person. But at the same time, what she said is like, well, it's because you think you're the best.
Well, it's like no different than,
not like conscious, like I'm the best, but like you're so confident, you're like, there's no man better than me. So like, it is what it is. Like,
but it's no different than conversations you and I have had in the past about why men don't think that they can get cheated on until they get cheated on. Like, until it happens, you're like, it'll never happen to me. Right. Because it can't happen. It's me. Yeah, you're like, it can't happen to me. My girl will never do that to me. Right. It's always like an ego thing. It's like, to me, it'll never happen.
When she said that, I was like, fuck. Because like, have you ever entered a relationship with a girl, like, unless you're dating a virgin, Zamora, which neither of us are or have. Yeah. Your girl's been fucked before. Yeah. Many times by other people. Yeah. Might be better than yours. Yeah. Might be worse than yours. Who knows? But have you ever entered a relationship and been like, I wonder if other guys fucked you better than this? No.
Yeah. I've never thought about it. I've just kind of, it's like chalking up to the game. I just know it exists. It is what it is.
But have you ever like, has it ever affected you? You're like, you dicked her down one day, you both laying there like, oh, fuck, this was good. Have you ever sat there and been like, has she had better than this though?
No, I never have. I never have. The girl would have to say something that would make me think like, oh, okay.
Oh shit.
Like what?
like if she's like, oh, next time do this, you'd be like, oh, who used to do that? Is that what you like?
Could be, yeah.
But unless you get like a room for improvement comment, you're never gonna really evaluate yourself like that with your partner. Yeah. Unless she says something that you feel like I was inadequate in some way. She'd be like, oh, like this was good, but like I kind of like when this is done. Yeah. If they say it's you're like, what do you mean? You like, who was doing that? Like what do you mean you like when this was who was doing that for you to know you like when this was done?
Yeah.
Like that's the only time you really like even go there. But I feel like neither of us, myself for sure, I've never sat there like, I wonder if you've been fucked better than this before. The only time, that's a lie. The only time I've actually thought about that is when someone I've been with, and let's say we break up or something, and I find out they've been with somebody I know or someone I know of, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they want to come back to me. That's the only time I actually am aware that like, you were with someone I know.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually thinking how much like I can genuinely say I've actually thought like, you're coming back to me, yeah, because maybe our feelings or whatever, but what was that like? Like, so not that I really want to know, but now it's in my circle. Like, you know, I'm aware of it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is? Okay, so two things.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Two things though. Like to be honest, most of the time I just assume in my head that the way I operate with sex is I think to myself, she's probably had like she probably got dicked down amazingly before.
Right.
So because I think that way, I say to myself, I gotta be better than all that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just assume right now I assume I'm starting at zero.
Right.
I'm like, I'm trash right now, and I'm gonna show you like where I'm at.
Right.
Right. So that's where I operate
internally.
So I'm not thinking, fuck, all these guys are better than me we're better than me. I think
I'm gonna be the best.
Yeah, I think, oh, they were probably really good, so now I gotta be even better.
Right. Leave a mark.
Yeah, I gotta be the mark. And it's like that's the thing, like girls will never straight up tell you unless you decide to have that conversation.
Right.
And you gotta be mature. Yeah, you gotta be mature enough, but it's like,
are you mature enough to have the convo?
I think I am.
Do you even need it?
No.
I don't need it.
No.
Would you be mature enough?
I'm definitely mature enough to have the convo, but I don't see the point.
What would it do for you?
It would do absolutely nothing for me.
You have a conversation with your girl, you're like, hey, and if you do it on both sides, that's the problem.
This is why
that's the problem.
This is why the conversation,
it'd be like, am I yours?
No,
am I your best?
This is why the conversation is pointless, right?
Because super pointless.
The conversation is pointless for so many reasons. Like, the main reason it's pointless for me is because people lie. People lie, and depending on when the conversation is had, you're gonna get different answers. So if I've been dating you for a while, obviously I should be like the best or either like tied, because
that's not true.
I should be.
Okay.
I should be. It's not always going to be the case.
Experience with the
but
person.
I should be, because now I know you. Blah, blah, like we know each other. The sex should be good. Right. But the other reason why it's bad is because at certain times I don't want to know. Like, for example, if you and I just start sleeping together, let's say second time we're sleeping with each other, and I think girls might feel this way too. The last thing I think a person wants to hear after having sex with someone, maybe one or two times, is, this is the best sex I've ever had.
You're saying the last thing you want to hear? Or one of the last things you want to hear?
For me, personally, if I have sex with a girl
early,
and like first or second time, if she says to me, this is the best sex I've ever had, literally in my head, I'm thinking, fuck, I'm trapped at this. It's not even trapped. It's not even trapped. It's we're moving too fast. We're moving too fast, because if I do not feel the same way, now I know, oh fuck, like, I'm your standard, but you're not mine. Right. And it's not even like, not even to make myself sound like some fucking guy like that. It's not that I've had it happen. It just accelerates things way too quick. Right. So I'm not saying that you should like hide how you feel, but it's like, bro, like there's some things where you're just like, yo, we gotta slow it down a little bit. Right. That's different. Like hearing someone say that to you a couple months in, right, is very different to early 100, like the second time or first time you have sex. 100%. You're like, oh shit, like I'm not at that level yet. You've grown to be the best you've ever had. Yeah, I'm not
versus
at that level.
like off rip, I'm the best. It's like, wow, okay.
Like, what was happening before? That's what I think. I'm like, what was going on before?
What was going on? Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, honestly, Malcolm and Marie, guys, great movie. In my opinion, in Zamor's opinion, critic reviews seem to say differently. Some people say, "Oh, they feel like they've been fighting for so long." It's like it's a fucking relationship.
Yeah,
you fight, you get good. You fight, you get good. It is what it is. Yeah. So there's a question I asked this week regarding a first conversation. When was the last time you had a great first conversation with somebody, and what is the status of that relationship now?
So I got the comments. Shahid Johnson, he says sometime late 2018, early 2019. I was working at a call center for customer support. A woman about 30. We talked about her issues, of course, but we quickly went off topic to more personal things. Because she complimented me on my sexy voice, that got her into mentioning that she was recently separated from her partner. I was polite and definitely tried to flirt back. The conversation was refreshing and definitely wished we were at a coffee shop than on the phone. She brought up that she started dating and enjoyed talking to me more. We shared general information about ourselves, like age, favorite color, hobbies. The banter between us was great. My smile shined through the call. I may be biased because I was going through a breakup and felt nice to have this interaction. But at the end of the day, I did satisfy the customer. She called back many times requesting me, if possible, to assist with any future issues.
No current status?
And then he said, she did find me on social media, but we don't talk.
See, I've always been curious about stuff like that. Like, and in my own scenarios as well, like, isn't it strange and odd how like we can have such great interaction with people, and it just goes to nothing after. Yeah. Like, isn't like I love that. Yeah, me too. This was amazing.
Let's get together.
Yeah. No, even if you do, like, yeah, let's connect. You're like, connect. You have a great time together. Wow. You're even better in person. Yeah, and you too. This is amazing. I would love this again. Me too, yeah. And then nothing.
And like, why?
Why? Why does that happen in our environment now? Like,
I don't know if it's a case of, so many access, like so much access to different things, distractions.
Do we just forget? Do you think a lot of this?
I think genuinely sometimes people forget. I think other times people feel a lot of pressure,
to keep it going.
Yeah, like if we're being honest, you and I talked about this off camera the other day about your person, right? Is your person like that guy who made a video? He's like, your person is not in fucking Greece.
Oh, Andy.
Yeah, your person is in fucking Scarborough.
Yeah.
Like they really are.
Yeah.
You're just too busy over there thinking about it. And I think there's an element of shock and awe when you meet someone brand new and you just hit it off. You just have a great conversation.
It's scary.
It's a little scary.
Right.
That's where the awe comes in.
Yeah,
and you're like, yo,
the fuck was that?
Yeah. Well, what is this? I want to talk to this person more.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a game. It's like, all right, do I talk to this person every day?
You start questioning everything.
Because if I talk to them every day, like, is this going to destroy this thing?
Will it saturate it?
Yeah.
We talk too much.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much. Should I play hard to get? Like, I don't know. It's like,
so true.
There's too many games being played.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in those cases, people should be a lot more straightforward and to say, hey, like, I think this conversation is like fucking great. Let's get together at some point. I actually make it happen. But my problem is, I think as a guy, I know some women say they like guys that are forward and like all this type of stuff. I like putting the ball in the woman's court where I'm like, these are my intentions. This is how I feel. You let me know when it's good for you. Right. And it works sometimes. Like you have to know when that approach works.
Sometimes they want you to push and sometimes
you have to know when that approach works. But I think for what I've experienced, like this day and age with everything, some of the bullshit I see that men send to women, because I have a lot of like female friends, they show me this shit. I'm like, yeah, it works in my favor when I just let them know what type of energy I'm on. Right. And I say, you let me know when you're ready, you know?
But some women might take that as like lazy.
That's up to them.
But it depends on the person. Yeah. Really.
Like if I tell you what my intentions are, I say, this is what I want to do. This is what we're going to do. You just have to let me know when you're ready.
They don't want to. Some women don't want.
They don't want that choice, eh?
They want you to say this. These are my intentions, and then do it. Because once you put it back in their hands or their court, now they're required to make that move. Essentially,
I know. And then it goes back to what I was saying before about the distraction. It's not even distractions, because if I tell you how I'm feeling and this is what it is and these are my intentions, and that's in your court, and you don't start dribbling, I'm on another court.
Hey.
Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not really wasting. I don't have time to waste, you know? So playing these games is just kind of silly to me. It makes no sense. So I think there's an element of that. I just think there's an element of people.
Hit her up, Shahid.
Yeah.
Hit her up.
Twin their head. Kiana, she said it was a clubhouse room about transracial adoptees / mixed race experiences around the globe. That was last week. Right? Good. Ellis DeMenace, he said, and I'd say late September, met on Hinge and went to a bar place by Yorkdale and then Popeyes. Currently, we don't talk. Like, it's like, what? Like, why?
What happens?
Reason? Sometimes I think there's like a subconscious thing. Have you ever met someone that you've talked? Okay, in this case, they met, right? Yeah. Have you ever met someone that you've had a great conversation with, and then you meet them in person, and you know immediately, this isn't gonna work? Has that ever happened to you?
It's happened to you.
Okay, well that's happened to me too.
Right.
And it's fucking weird. And it's weird only because there's a disconnect that happens in your head where you say, how were we communicating like this?
What the fuck's going on here?
But then when I see you in person and we're together, it's not one-sided. It's both of us recognize that this energy,
this is different,
is not matching. So let's just like slowly
go back to the phone.
like either go back to the phone or just slowly exit out of here quietly. And it's like both people will exit without saying anything, but you both know why.
Bro, that's exactly what happened to ATL. Literally, we're both kind of like, all right, well, this was, well,
because no one wants to have the conversation of, listen, it was great when we were talking online over the phone. It was really great. It was actually like really great when we were communicating, but not in person. But then when we saw each other,
this is here.
I don't know what's going on.
Do you? No.
And they're like, yeah, I feel the same way.
Okay, so what do we do right now?
So it was nice to meet you.
You too.
And we're just gonna go our separate ways. No hard feelings.
Why?
But then sometimes there are hard feelings.
I mean, hey,
for some people, it's definitely hard feelings.
I mean, the person and I don't talk anymore. Not in a bad terms.
But that's the thing. That's not hard feelings. It's like, but why? Like, but why?
It's not hard feelings. Yeah, it's not hard feelings. It's literally just
because that is actually fucked when you think about the fact that we talk, we have these long conversations, but then when we're in person, it's fucking weird. Why?
Adding a physical attribute to things is just, it really throws a wrench at things sometimes.
And some people,
whether it's the literal physical energy of somebody, whether it's trying to hold that same conversation with someone when they're actually looking at you, you know, some people don't even have
social anxiety,
aren't even comfortable like making eye contact with some people sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're on the phone, you're just, even if it's FaceTime, you're looking at your phone, you're not really looking at like the person, and they can't, they're not, our eyes aren't locking on FaceTime.
Yeah.
We're looking at each other on a phone.
Yeah.
But it's not like, this is eye contact. Me looking at you right now is eye contact.
Yeah.
Versus on the FaceTime, it's kind of like, you're in your room, you're in your space.
Yeah, you can read me.
You can like
when we're in person, you can read me. You can really see how
and
like seeing how, and I think, you know, it's a byproduct of social media technology.
Yeah,
people becoming so comfortable chatting over the phone. I mean, like even during the pandemic, the last couple of months, I've been FaceTiming way more than I ever have.
Right.
And I enjoy it a lot. I'd rather FaceTime people than text. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know why it happens, but it definitely happens to all of us.
Read a couple more and then you tell me if you experience that you had.
Next one. Kiki, she said a year and a half ago, we played pool and talked, then went to the arcade and played and talked, then sat in the car while we waited for someone and talked some more. Next thing we know, it's 1 a.m. He's now my boyfriend and best friend.
It's a positive outcome for once.
It's a good one. Last one from the homie Victoria in New Jersey. She said, this past Christmas Eve, I talked with my uncle's friend who I just met about vegan, vegetarians, carnivores, and all that goes along with the topic. I was previously annoyed because I felt like I wasn't having any deep talks with my family. So as a vegan at the time, I was firing out questions to this man who was probably 40 years older than me. Honestly, just interested in the answers and what his stance was. I'd say about 3 months before this conversation, I was slowly starting to open my mind up about not being so restricted with my diet and such. And this exact conversation just turned on something in my brain that told me I need to eat meat again and stop having such an obsessive relationship with things I put in my body. I only saw my uncle's friend that one time. I don't think he knows the impact he had on me. I'm sure I'll see him again though, and I'll tell him all about it over steak or something. Once I started eating meat again, I can't even begin to describe the awakening that began. Realizing I was going through something very unhealthy and sad, even though I thought I was perfectly fine. Okay, that's my story. Have you ever had like one of those one-off moments?
With like anybody?
Yeah, you meet someone random. I'm trying to think if I've ever just met someone randomly, like one time. And I have like a pretty profound experience and I never see them again. I don't think it's happened because I refuse to let those people go.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I
really like you, we connect.
It's not even like, even if it doesn't.
Or if I really enjoyed something,
like if I meet you randomly, if I meet a girl at a bar, right? And if it's a guy and we're talking about some business shit, and then I don't get this guy's info to like network on some shit, I'm like, this is weird.
It's uncommon.
It makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
If I meet a girl and I connect with you and I never see you again, I'm like, what?
What was that?
Was she even real?
Yeah.
Like, was I actually talking to someone last night, or was that delusional? In my head?
Yeah. I think anyone I've actually enjoyed interaction with, I've got some contact before leaving.
Interesting.
Just my, like, I feel like that's something I proceed to do. If I'm like, oh, this was great. You know what? Honestly, what's your number or something? Just like, I want more of that.
Yeah.
Male or female, you know?
So what about you? What's been a case for you? I know you brought up like the Atlanta thing, but
the Atlanta thing was definitely one. Another great first conversation. I would say this when I was in LA one time. I was in LA, went to a house party.
Okay.
You ever catch yourself having deep ass conversations in parties?
Every time.
Are those like
every time that happens?
I'm like, how does this always happen to me? Like it gets so deep where you don't even hear the music. You're just so into that convo with the person. Like, and I'm like, I'm in a party right now talking about some deep ass shit.
Yeah.
So I was talking to this girl. I went to this house party, and literally just scoping the house. Like, got myself a drink, and I made eye contact with this girl, and she's beautiful. And I was like, yo, and my boy was there with me. And I'm like, I'm gonna get that girl. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, watch. By the end of this night, I'm gonna get that girl. He's like, all right. I chilled a little bit, walked her a little bit. And I walked up to her, and I don't remember what she said. I think it might have been a song or something that we were both kind of just singing. And it kind of just brought us together. Like it might have been Usher or something like that. We were both kind of, just like lip singing Usher. And I made eye contact with her while she lip singing. We were kind of just like smiling at each other. And that turns like a combo. And then we sat down and just started talking about like everything, like life, like her beliefs. Like we're literally in this house party talking about like the most deepest shit. I don't know why. Literally I stopped partying. That literally became the rest of my night. Just literally sitting on the couch with her, talking about everything under the sun.
Yeah.
And then the club, the house party or whatever ended. And we got up, we're like, yo, we literally been talking for like 2 hours. She's like, I know. I'm like, all right, what do you guys want to do now? So her and their friend, we got up, we went for a drive, got some food. She dropped her friend off and she ended up giving me head on Broadway in LA at like 4:00 in the night. That's how the night ended. And we don't communicate anymore.
Okay.
That's like, literally, I don't know. We just never spoke again. I flew back from LA and just,
you guys have each other on IG?
No. Nothing. Nothing.
Okay. So like
it's just
true. So it's like in every essence of the word, it was really a one night stand. Like you didn't smash, but like
but it was literally just like I have no idea what she's up to, where she is, what her page is. Nothing. I know her name.
And let me ask you something.
I know her name.
Let me ask you something.
What?
Every now and then she crosses your mind, doesn't she?
When I'm in LA, yeah.
The reason I say this is because like
where the fuck is she?
I think everyone, man and woman, has had a situation like that. Where not like, something happens, but it's you meet someone of the opposite sex, you don't get their number, you have an interaction, and every now and then you're just like, I wonder whatever happened to that person.
Whatever happened.
Like, I wonder where they're at. Like, this is like a minor one, super minor. But I remember like fucking, like literally almost 10 years ago now, I went to, it's back when I was working at Apple. Me and my boys went out to eat afterwards at like Joey's or some shit like that. And I'll never forget this girl came to the table in front of my boys and was just like, she straight up asked for my number. She's like, she's like,
bartender or
no, it's like another girl at a different table. Just like another guest. She's like, hey, she came to me and she's like, hey, can I get your number? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she said I was cute, blah, blah, blah. And I gave her my number. And it was so strange to me because I wasn't used to that type of energy. It was so strange that I didn't ask for her number in return. I just gave her mine. Right. And then she like left and went back to her table. And my boys were like doing what they're like, whatever. Yeah. And I think I think about that incident.
Do you think you gave her the wrong number?
No, it's not that I didn't. I know that I gave her the right number. Okay. You know why? It's because when I gave her my number is weird, right? I won't say it on the podcast, but there's a lot of repeating numbers. So I remember when I said it to her, she's like,
she thought it was fake.
She's like, is this real? And I'm like, yeah, it is.
555. But I 555.
But I never asked for her number.
Yeah.
So she
has control right now.
She has control. So she took my number. She took my number, and then I never got a text. Nothing.
Still.
Yes, still to this day, I never got a text. But what blew my mind is
why did she text you this year?
Can you imagine? But back then, I was thinking, yo, did I fumble the bag by not asking for her number?
Right, because now you left it to her.
I left it to her, but I wasn't thinking. I was like a youth. I was like, yo,
like, oh, sick.
I was like, oh, sick. Take my number. Yeah. But I didn't do my due diligence and be like, yo, let me get yours.
And she never actually followed
through.
Probably nervous or
yeah. And then every now and then I'll think, oh, I wonder whatever happened to that girl. And it's not even like I had a crazy interaction. Yeah. She was super bad.
You're just like, she has my digits.
How's that? Whatever happened to her?
Like, text me.
Yeah, let me know. Like, what happened? But a more like serious one. Met a girl through a dating app. we were talking through the app. Then she ends up telling me, I was like, oh, like, what's your IG? She's like not on social media at all. Right. And she said, but you can take my number though. We end up FaceTiming.
Quick pause.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk to a woman now based on what you do in your career that doesn't have social media?
Yeah.
You're able to?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
And you know, we're texting, and I'm like, hey, like, do you want to get together at some point? She's like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. Let's just like FaceTime first. And I was like, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. So we FaceTime and we talk for like 2.5 hours. Super great conversation, right? And then we decide, all right, we're gonna get together and hang out. From the time of the FaceTime call to when we hang out, it was almost like a month.
Okay.
But we had been talking throughout that entire time. Checking in periodically. Not an everyday thing, but we're talking. It was great. Then I hang out with her. She comes over, I hang out with her, and I knew right away. Like, I knew
this is not going anywhere.
Yeah, I knew right away. I just had a feeling. I knew right away. I was like, oh,
like
this is
first connection?
First connection.
Like, even like the hi, hello, nice to meet you from there, or
Yeah.
even, not even like an actual get into a convo, just like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah. I think
nice to finally see you.
I'm a pretty good I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. And
There's no character yet.
I think that no, I can just read people, bro.
No character.
There is. Hear me.
Just came over.
Let me explain. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I think because of years of like playing sports, boxing especially, working in PR, I read people's body language a lot instinctively. And like sometimes it's a problem. Like I read your body language and it tells me more than what you are leading on. And I remember when I saw this girl, I was like, oh, maybe she's nervous. Right? Maybe she's nervous. She's meeting someone new.
First time.
But then we start talking and I was having to lead the conversation so much, which was the polar opposite
from online.
And that immediately like turned me off. And I don't know if that's a problem because I know that she could be shot, she could be nervous, she could be all these things, but I was already presented with a certain type of energy. And now I'm thinking to myself, this is so different. It's not like, oh, we're a little nervous, let's break the ice a little bit, and like it goes back to being normal. It was like that for the entirety of the time that we were together.
Like hours.
We were together for maybe like 2-3 hours. And I would say for a good 2 of those hours, I was so ready for her to just leave.
Oh man. So I have a question.
Okay.
Because I am also a culprit of that feeling that you had with the ATL girl. Because and that essentially was the reason I made the room in the first place, which became, as you know, all this nonsense. But the real reason I made that room was because of that. I'm like, the energy we had on the phone, on FaceTime, or through text, whatever, was high. Talking about our interaction was consistent. The banter, the communication was perfectly equal. And in person, it was just like she just shriveled up. And it turned me off because I'm like, I'm turned on by confident women. I'm turned on by leaders, independent women who push me. Like I love that in person. So, and that's how she was on the phone. So I was like, yo, this is dope. So when it wasn't matched in person, I was like thrown off, which in turn turned me off as well. But the reason I made the room and asked people questions about was like, and women specifically, was like, was there something I could have missed as a man? Like, do you guys feel differently when you're in person with a new person? And someone were like, yeah, like first time I see a guy, like I'm really to myself. I don't want to say too much. I might be nervous. The environment, I might not know what to say. It might be a lot going through my mind. Like there's so many different things that could be going through your head in that first interaction. So like, I'll ask you, like, based on that first interaction, do you believe it could be anything nerve related or environment related or what you were doing? Like, do you think she would still be like that if you're doing an activity? Do you think it would still be like that if, you went somewhere that wasn't at your house?
Yeah. So I think
and would you see her again potentially?
Yeah. So I think
or give her another chance, I should say.
I think if we were doing an activity, sure, it might be different. I do believe like nerves played a role there. I just think,
was she unattractive though?
No.
Like, was she less attractive than you thought she would be in person?
You know what? This is the other thing. She wasn't unattractive.
Was she less than what you thought?
But this is but you have to remember the key thing that I said at the beginning was she has no social media. So I really didn't. There was no vetting.
You really just saw like a photo
of like a physical thing.
Right.
Outside of like her profile,
just a photo.
Outside of her dating profile, and then seeing her on FaceTime and talking to her, I was like, oh, she's cute. Right. But I have no gauge of her exactly. I didn't really see more body pics.
Yeah.
I didn't see like how tall she was, how short she was. I didn't see any of these things. So in almost every essence of the word, it was almost like a fucking blind date.
Right. And
I've seen you, but like I haven't seen you.
So did it hit your standard though?
No, it didn't.
Physically? No. So that's what I'm saying though.
So I think
that's also very important.
I think that played part of it for sure.
Big part of it for sure. What?
I just think that, you know what? Okay, hitting my standard is that's a little much. Like she definitely hit my standard, but I've had better. Obviously, she hit my standard. I think what it more so was the fact that like when I was talking to her in person, there was a disconnect, and in my head it could have been multiple things. What I'm feeling, she could have been feeling. She could have been like, oh, like I met this guy in person now, and he's not what I pictured, like not what I like. But she knew I had social media, so she could have creeped me and all this shit. But she could have met me and been like, I'm not attracted to this dude.
Could have been both ways.
That very well could have been it, and I accept that, and that's totally fine. But like my main thing that I took away from it, I just remember thinking to myself,
this is different.
It wasn't how she looked. It was the conversation. Like I could not have a conversation with this girl.
But do you think if she was prettier,
I could make that conversation work? No.
No. No. Do you think if she was prettier, you'd be as aware of the conversation?
Absolutely. And I think it's because like I'm a conversation person. I said this last week. If I cannot have a conversation with you, I'm thinking to myself, yo, this is whack. Like at a certain point, what are we doing?
But I agree. But
like, what are we doing?
The reason I'm asking is because I'll be trying to be very specific about this. Like, it is proven that we as men give more leniency to prettier women when it comes to certain things. That's just proven. Okay. So the reason I'm asking this is because yes, you're a conversationalist. Yes, conversation is definitely important. However, if she was bad, pretty, very, very pretty, and you're highly attracted to her, do you think you would give her more leniency on the end that maybe she's just shy, then maybe this just sucks?
See, but I already felt like she was shy, but it's like,
do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but this is the problem. Guys will give that leniency because they already know that the person is hot or good looking. They already know that they are. So they're like, okay, if I go into this and the conversation is not that good, I'll give some leniency there.
Right.
I truly went into it blind.
No idea.
What I knew was the conversation that we were having, not just through text, like literally not face to face, but FaceTime.
Yeah. Was dope.
Was really dope. So I was like, the conversation's already there, which means if she's not like a rocket or she's not like super hot, or if she's just cute, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
Right.
If this is the same.
If this is the same, if she's just cute, that is fine by me. If she doesn't need to be some smoke show. If she's cute, it's cool. Right? I can work with that. Right? That's fine for me. But then I meet her.
Yeah.
And the conversation wasn't there.
And she's not a rocket.
And then it made me go, oh, like, what else do I not like?
Yeah. I know. Okay. Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make me an asshole.
No. Right? It's
because I'm genuinely thinking to myself,
you're going through the evaluations of stuff like, okay, well, our conversation's not where it was. The looks aren't where I wanted it. Like, what am I doing here right now? Like, it's just,
and this is the thing. I don't know if I'm projecting it. I was projecting it. I truly don't think I was, because like I said, I was trying to like, push the conversations forward.
You want it to be good.
I want it to be good. But my thing is this. If I'm pushing the conversation because one, I want to like get to know you, and I don't want it to be like awkward for you either.
Yeah.
Right. But if a part of me is feeling, oh, there's not like a physical attraction here, I have to believe she's thinking the same thing too.
Thinking there's not a physical attraction
to me.
How do you...
I don't know how I even verify that, but you know what I mean?
No, well, yes, but you also have to understand, and I am the same in ways. You give off a vibe when you're not attracted to somebody.
Yes.
Physically. So like they can feel that sometimes as well. Okay,
but I don't.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes. See, this is my thing though.
She might not be attracted to you. Sure, that might also be a potential.
Yeah, but
she also might feel like he's not attracted to. I can feel like he's not attracted to me, and that makes her clam up because she's like, he just saw me. We're here now for the first time. I can tell he's not into me like that. I can feel it. Like you, you might not know what you did that night.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm trying to think because I'm trying to think what I have done before in other situations where I know I'm not attracted to you like this. How do I move differently? Right. And it's usually under the context of, I'm at like a party.
That's what I'm saying. It's not in your home.
It's never been a one-on-one thing, right? But
it's usually in a social setting.
When it's in a social setting, it's like I'm straight up avoiding you,
or just politely curve, like
politely curve. When she was in my
you can't move anywhere.
I wasn't like that. I don't think I was.
But you can't go anywhere. What are you gonna do? Push her away, and she's home. No, but she's here.
But this is the problem, though, right? Like this is the problem that I'm trying to explain. I felt like. I don't know what I was. That's why I said I don't know what I was projecting because I was the one trying to like have the conversation.
Yeah, well, of course, though. You want the conversation because you want that.
I thought but this is the problem. I thought she was cute. But then I started feeling turned off when the conversation was not there. So therefore, that's when I start maybe thinking to myself, oh, this is not going anywhere. I'm just wondering if when she saw me, did she start thinking immediately, oh, I'm not into this guy right away, hence her being so
or disinterested to push a conversation,
to conversate, right? Like that could have been it too. It could be a multitude of things. It could just be as simple as her being shy. It could be her seeing me and being like, I'm not attracted to this dude. I don't want to have the conversation. It could be anything,
right? But
either way, I was just like, yo, we can at least just have a conversation.
Right.
And if we can't have that, why are we here?
Yeah. No, I get
why are you here? Not why are we here? Why are you here?
I get that. I mean, yeah. And obviously you didn't pressure her to stay, but
yeah. I
mean, she made the trip, so I'm sure she wanted to follow it through or see it through. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like these conversations are necessary because it could be a multitude of reasons, right? But like just the main thing I was trying to maybe identify if you even knew was, do you think or have there been situations where like I know there have been situations where a girl knows I'm not attracted to her because I just won't move. I just won't move. Like I'll talk to you, but I won't move. Like you know, like you'll know I'm not attracted to you. He hasn't touched my leg, hasn't really looked at me, isn't looking at my chest, isn't looking at anything. He's literally just talking to me like I'm here, which is respectable, but like, I know he's not attracted to me. Do you know what I'm saying? I know I can't hide that.
Yeah, I get that.
I know a woman knows like, okay, this nigga's not into me. Like that. He might think I'm dope.
Yeah.
But he hasn't like looked at my fit, probably doesn't even know what the fuck I'm wearing. Definitely doesn't know if I'm wearing nail polish or not. Like he's clearly like not even observing me. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get it.
They can feel that.
Yeah, I absolutely get it.
Especially on the flip side when they've been around guys that are like, like give them something. Like you look good today. Like there are guys that give them something. So when they get nothing, they're like, this guy's not into me. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, I get that.
Did you give her a compliment? Did you give her like, oh, you look good? Like nothing. You probably didn't. No, but I'm just being real. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I'm
so pissed because before I can even answer, you're like, you gave her nothing.
But I'm being real. I haven't seen you in person yet. Okay, I've never seen you in person yet. You pull up to my crib, dressed in whatever you're dressed in. Did your makeup for me, obviously. Your hair is the first time you're gonna see me. You came right. You did your nails, you waxed, whatever you had to do, you did that for today because this is the first day you're gonna see me. And I'll even give you like, you look good. Good to see you. You look good. Like you smell good. Your hair looks nothing. not what? Not even like. Oh my god. Not even like, yo, like, oh my, you have a nice smile, like,
yo, I am being red for filth right now because I just had like a That's So Raven to
like, what did you give her for real?
Huh?
What did you give her for real? For the first time seeing her, what did you give her?
Nothing.
I was even there.
Like first thing I did when I saw her was give her a hug and everything.
Sure,
yeah, but like
normal, but like. You did this. You came to see me. You dressed yourself up today for the first time to connect. And I didn't even like nice shirt, nice kicks. What was she wearing? Heels? Shoes? Do you even know?
I remember.
What shoes? What was she wearing?
I remember.
What shoes?
I remember when I saw her shoes. They reminded me of like auntie heels.
Oh my God. She lost from the first step. Oh my God.
I remember when I saw
heels?
them. Huh?
Kitten heels?
Yeah, I remember when I saw them. I was like,
she lost from her first step? She lost from the first step. That's what it was. She never had the chance. She came in here in kitten heels and never had the chance. And from that, you didn't give her a single compliment some more. For the night. and you expected conversation. You didn't give her a thing. So she's like, this guy doesn't fucking like me.
Come on. Oh my God.
Bro, I'm just saying. I'm not saying she said you hate her, but like the man, I came here to the 9 for you, in her opinion. No, bro, like she like, no, like, if we're being honest, she showed up in her to the 9. You know, before she pulled up, she sprayed herself, cleaned herself, showered, hair, makeup, all that for you, for the interaction, and you didn't give her a thing. I'm not blaming you. Like, I've been there. If I have nothing to say, I have nothing to say. But like, that's very evident. You have nothing to say. It's very evident. A girl can be like, this guy has nothing to say. They know that. They know that this guy has nothing to say, especially a woman. He hasn't said. How many times have you heard people? How many times have you heard women be like, he didn't even notice my hair. He didn't notice my nail. You know, she went back to her friends and said, he didn't notice I did my hair for him, my nails. Didn't even say nothing about my outfit. Nothing. Like, he gave me a hug, and then like, I did my hair for him.
Listen, I get it. You know, I get it.
Fuck. I mean, hey,
man's got red. I gotta hold this. I'm gonna hold this.
No, bro. It's a learning experience for all of us. I've been there, and that's why you even made that point to say, like, I know I am different. Like I know, like I'm so aware that I'm like, when I'm not attracted to someone, I know I am different because I know when I'm with a girl that I'm attracted to, I'm like, yo, like I know I'm like shit. Like, okay. I'm like, I'll turn them around a little bit. I'll flirt a little bit. I'll do like stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll pull up and be like, yo, okay, shit. Nice. Like, I'm into it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't know you, if that could be first day, and I'm still like, oh shit, okay. Like, I'll be playful in some regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If her titties are out, I'll be like, oh, you came with the titties out. Okay, I'll make something. You know, you might do it differently, but I know you're not a shy guy to be like, oh, okay, like you came in the dress for me, oh, the whole dress, okay, like some shit. You know what I mean? I don't know what you'd say, but I know you'd say something. That's all I'm gonna say. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree, and I said nothing.
Right.
And that's why I ended up in that situation.
That's it.
I said nothing. I didn't even think about this. Like, literally, as soon as you said that, I thought back to that night, and I was like, yo, I didn't say anything.
Like, you almost feel bad. You're almost like, fuck. Like, you don't want to lie, obviously. But.
Crazy. All right, well, we're gonna wrap this up.
We'll sit with that. The moral of the story is, guys, don't lie. Like, don't lie. If you don't feel anything, don't lie. But just give one compliment at least. Even if you don't believe it. Just say something. You can't say nothing to a woman. She'll definitely notice that. She would just say something to her fucking eyes. Something. Nice smile. Anything. Make it up. Even if her teeth are bad. Say nice teeth.
Oh my God.
I don't fucking care. Oh man, I love you, Zamar.
Yeah, I love you too, bro.
Until next week, guys. This was eye-opening for all of us.
It really was.
But we know what we want. That goes to show. At least you know what you want.
Yeah.
And I think we're aware enough that we know how we are when we're around what we want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To identify like, fuck, like, yeah, I probably would do something differently if I was around an environment that I wanted to be.
I would definitely do something different next time.
You would definitely do something different.
Definitely do something different.
But yeah. This was funny. This was funny and interesting and great. And this is what we do on the podcast. It's just how many times we had fucking things where we realize them through combo. We're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
I ain't shit.
Like, fuck.
I'm not shit.
Just sit there and just like, shit.
All the time.
That's me?
Yeah.
Like, oh man. But yeah, until next week, guys. See y'all.
Peace.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.